can now see, this is a very planned move to infiltrate the student movement, to bring in cadres, by the opposition. So it took a dangerous turn with these anti-national elements coming into the picture. What actually I think made it a sort of a violent and more, a movement that actually cost a lot of lives and arson, etc., was the fact that other actors came into the game. And from what we can now see, this is a very planned move to infiltrate the student movement, to bring in cadres, by the opposition BNP, Bangladesh National Party, and the Jamaat-e-Islami, which is, like the Muslim Brotherhood. It is a radical Islamic grouping that is pro-Pakistan. So they were the ones who supported Pakistan in 1971, and their descendants today continue with that same policy. And their student wing, the Chhatra Shibir, also infiltrated the student movement. And the students, when they negotiated with government, were at pains to say that our protest is purely non-violent. We don't identify with any of those elements that are indulging in violence and arson. Those are not genuine student protesters. So there is a distinction between the two. But once this movement is happening and people from behind are indulging in violence and burning down, if you see today, the damage has been extensive. They've burned down 2 metro stations completely. They burnt a 4-story building of the Bangladesh Transport Corporation. They've burned down, post offices, police stations. They've also gone in a place called Narshingdi, freed, inmates. Some 860 inmates have been freed, including some who were wanted for Islamic terrorism. So some people involved with heinous crimes.
So there was ulterior motive, not just public anger.
Absolutely.
When
so looting also meant looting the armory, so weapons, etc. And so it took a dangerous turn with these anti-national elements coming into the picture. And I think, if you see the social media space, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation, and that continues to happen even today.
Even though internet was stopped for some time.
Exactly. But a lot of it is coming from abroad. Because Jamaat-e-Islami has a lot of its supporters who are outside. And a lot of these so-called, political exiles, basically opportunists sitting in different part of the world, posting and blogging, are all essentially linked to the same, larger
ecosystem,
brotherhood, so to speak. And they are basically sophisticated Jamaatis, you can say. I mean, they're able to project a sophisticated image, lobby with governments in Western countries, project a certain case of human rights and, violations, etc. But at the end of the day, they are hardcore radical